Man, I told y'all that this dude is doing everything in his power not to fight Devin Haney in the rematch. Everything he does, me and my man was just talking in the gym. Everything he does, all his popularity and his fame is still hinging to the fact that he fought Tank Davis and got knocked out. And then he technically beat Devin Haney, right? But then the fight got overturned. He got suspended for a year, tested positive for a banned substance, Ostarine. Can't prove why, had to pay $1 million fine, right? Now then he comes back a year later, fights Rolly, loses the Rolly, gets dropped in and loses the Rolly and looks terrible. Then he comes back 9 months after that, fights Mario Barrios, he looks spectacular again. So he makes his debut at 147, becomes a champion for the first time. He's the WBC welterweight champion. Devin Haney looked spectacular 2 fights later, dominating, dropping Brian Norman, winning that fight against Brian Norman. So they both got knockdowns. He knocked down Mario Barrios in the fight. In the first round, Devin Haney knocked down Brian Norman. In the second round, Devin Haney fought the more dangerous fighter in Brian Norman. Nonetheless, they both welterweight champions. The unification is even bigger than the first time. It's the storyline, like Devin Haney said, right? But Ryan Garcia, as you see here, Devin Haney says, let's start the testing so we can get everything going ASAP. Let's start testing right now so we can start negotiating so we can make it happen. Ryan Garcia initially says, yeah, no problem, let's start it. Then he starts to talk about, well, Devin Haney trying to call the shots. He got to understand he the B-side. Now he's talking about, see, it ain't going to happen. I told you guys. Ryan Garcia understands that once he loses to Devin Haney in a rematch, and now everybody going to view him with a magnifying glass. See, they was already looking at him closely against Rolly and against Mario Barrios, but the amount of the amount of attention is going to be paid to him testing and how much Vada is going to test him, right? Bar none. And he loses to Devin Haney in a rematch, it's over. Because it's even bigger now than it was the first time. The storyline is even bigger than it was the first time. Now you lose this time, what are you saying? Now everybody gonna be like, the jig is up. You only beat him because you got the steroids. And see, Devin Haney attracts so much disdain and dislike that people are supporting Ryan Garcia solely off the fact that they're like, well, we can't. Again, Mace. Mace said Devin Haney damaged goods. See, people are looking at the fact that Devin Haney got dropped 3 times. He did. Right? But they're looking at it from that standpoint. Right? And people are still praising Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia understands that he gets in there. See, people are not watching the fight itself. See, those moments were so dramatic. The knockdowns were so dramatic that it overshadowed everything else and it clouded the judgment. And see, if you're not a boxing mind and a real boxing fan and you see what took place, you only paid attention to the knockdowns because they were so dramatic that you didn't pay attention to the rest of the fight. The rest of the fight, to 95% of the boxing world, is cloudy. They don't remember the rest of the fight. Only thing they remember is the knockdowns. Right? And so because of that, people don't realize that Devin Haney outboxed him in all those other rounds. He was just defensively irresponsible in those moments and got clipped, like in the first round. He makes the adjustment. He don't get clipped. He don't get knocked down. He outboxes Ryan Garcia. Now what? Ryan Garcia goes away. Because now everybody's going to be like, oh, dude, it was the performance enhancers. Without the performance enhancers, you ain't the same dude, bro. We don't believe you. The antics and all that, it goes away. See, he had a built-in excuse when it came to him and Tank, right? He had a built-in excuse. Rehydration clause, catch weight. I was drained, had a broken rib. It's Tank Davis. he had a built-in alibi when it came to Devin Haney. Why? Regardless of the fact that he tested positive and cheated and couldn't prove why he had ostarine and performance enhancers in his system, failed for New York State Athletic Commission and Vada, and people try to pay attention. The only thing they try to hinge on is, well, if Vada is connected to Victor Conte, Devin Haney is with Snack. See, that's what they focus on. But he failed the New York State Boxing Athletic Commission test. What about that? They don't talk about that. They try to set a trail, right? A pebble trail linking Victor Conte to Vada and Vada to Devin Haney, right? They don't talk about the fact that he tested positive for the New York State Boxing Athletic Commission and have nothing to do with Vada and Victor Conte. Why do you fail that test? Right? They don't talk about that. So he loses to Devin Haney. See, people dislike Devin Haney so much that they give him a pass. Well, Devin Haney crying, man. You got people like Rampage Jackson. Oh, Devin Haney, he's soft, man. He's suing Devin. What? Soon as Ryan was accused by Shakur Stevenson of testing of possibly being back on performance enhancers, the first thing out of his mouth was defamation. He gonna sue Shakur. Ain't nobody complain about it. He just did that last week. Just told Shakur, you better watch it before you get sued. He literally just told Shakur that. And nobody says anything about it. Nobody cares. You see, because they're not fans of Ryan Garcia. They are detractors of Devin Haney. I told y'all that before. Just like with Brian Norman. Now you don't hear nothing. Brian Norman got a fight coming up. You don't hear nothing about it. Nobody talking about him. Nobody talking about Brian Norman. But when it was Devin Haney and Brian Norman, everybody couldn't wait. Devin Haney gonna get knocked out. Devin Haney this, Devin Haney that, right? Devin Haney beats Brian Norman. Brian Norman stock plummets. Nobody's talking about it. Nobody's talking about Brian Norman fight. When is he coming back? Nothing. Outside of the drama with him and his dad and parting ways, that was it. Because they love to hate Devin Haney more than they love the actual fighters that he's fighting or at odds with. That's what happens. That's the truth of the matter. And so now, right, Ryan Garcia loses. Now people going to be like, oh, man. See, it's going to be on to the next. Who's the next person up that could beat Devin Haney? Because we don't like Devin Haney. They don't like Ryan Garcia. They know he cheated. But they don't like Devin Haney so much they don't care that Ryan Garcia cheated as long as they see Devin Haney lose. That's diabolical. That is diabolical. And Ryan Garcia knows that. And he knows if he get in that ring, he knows he was getting outboxed. He knows he get in that ring. Does he have confidence that he can win? Sure. But in the back of his mind, he's saying to himself, if I get in there and I get outboxed, what are people going to say about me? My stock is going to drop. Everything changes. Yeah. Now people going to view you as a cheater. That's what's going to happen. Because people going to be like, oh, well, see what happened when he didn't test positive and he didn't have that in his system. He looked like a completely different guy and Devin Haney outboxed him. Now it's going to be like, well, you did cheat him. He knows that. Now he's talking. Now all of a sudden he wants to be the A side. Why you want to be the A side when His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh, for one, has eliminated A side B side talk? What are you talking about? Why is that a sticking point? Why is Devin Haney saying, hey, let's start the testing right now? Why is that bothering you to the point where you saying, well, he don't call no shots. He can't tell me when to start testing. Why wouldn't you want to automatically say, hey, listen, you know something? I want to start this testing ASAP because you said that I was cheating and I wasn't cheating. I want to start the testing today. But you complaining and trying to cloud the judgment of the people and trying to detract the people by saying, hey, he's trying to call shots like he's the A side talking about start testing now because he knows people don't like Devin Haney. And so people going to jump on board. Yeah. See, Devin Haney think he, right? Because stupidity is contagious. as I always say, stupidity is contagious. And he knows this. It's nasty work. Only thing Devin ain't say nothing about nothing. Ryan Garcia didn't complain about A-side, B-side with Mario Barrios, Rolly Romero, Shakur Stevenson, nobody. Now, Turkey Al-Sheikh has eliminated A-side, B-side talk. Ain't nobody in boxing talking about A-side, B-side. Canelo and Terrence Crawford wasn't talking about no A-side, B-side. Who is talking about A-side, B-side? Nobody. This dude brought up A-side and B-side for what? Did you bring up A-side, B-side with Mario Barrios? Did you bring up A-side, B-side? You a bigger star than Mario Barrios. You walk last. You walk first. You got introduced first. Did you talk about A-side, B-side talk with Mario Barrios? No. With Rolly Romero? No. Clown show, man. And that's all I got for y'all, man. This just proves that he's afraid. He knows what's at stake. And that pressure is going to burst pipes. And he knows it. And that's all I got for y'all. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV. All one word. I'm gone. Peace.